And good evening, everyone, and welcome here to Maple Grove High School for a rematch of last year's 5AA girls section final and one of the more intriguing games of the year in girls soccer as the Crimson host the defending state champs from Centennial. I'm Charlie Beatty, and joining me is Sig Lagry. And Sig, these two teams played to a 3-2 overtime game last October to decide who goes to the state tournament. Maple Grove lost that game, gave up a goal in overtime. They have not given up a goal since. They are unscored upon this year.
That must be a sign. You know, when I looked at the schedule, I saw Centennial against Maple Grove, and you just get bubbles because it's so exciting. These two teams will play each other for so many important matches in the last few years. They've always been at each other's throats. Both have great programs, good coaching, good players, good feeder program. Everything you could want in a good soccer team. And to watch them play each other is always a treat.
Well, both of them come in ranked in the top 10, and for Centennial, they lost a couple of big stars last year, had to replace it by committee. 11 different goal scorers this year, including junior Olivia Lovick, and she's one that we'll be watching tonight.
Absolutely. Number 34, she had 2 assists in the championship game last year. Very good at spotting where the other players have to be. She's playing mid-forward, so she has the capability of being a center mid and moving forward to be an attacker and putting the pressure on the Crimson defense.
And Maple Grove's not just a defensive team, they have an explosive offense as well. Senior midfielder Meredith Hawkinson is right at the center of it.
Absolutely. 6 goals and 1 assist. She's a senior midfielder, same thing. She can be in the midfield to see what the defense gives them and then be able to move in and make an assist or make a shot. So she's very dangerous, and that's why Maple Grove is 6-0-0 with no scores against them. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, the Northwest Suburban Conference still very much a 5-team race, but these two are right at the top. This will be one of the games that decides who is the regular season conference champion. Should be a good one. Centennial and Maple Grove coming up next on CCX Sports.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And welcome back to Maple Grove. Beautiful night here for soccer as these two teams get set. You can see Centennial 5-1-1. That one loss coming last week against Andover. Maple Grove not just undefeated and untied, but unscored upon here in 2017. As you get a good look at the Cougars, led by Ginger Flohog, and Ben Levon will lead Maple Grove the other way. And Sig, we talked about some of the storylines, but there are about 12 of them that we could have gone with in that open. Yep. This is a very loaded game, very interesting game coming up.
Yep.
And we'll get to that in a moment, but just want to take a look at the top 10 here, which includes both of these two teams. Wayzata up top, Maple Grove bumping up a spot this week. They were third last week, swapping with Washburn, and you can see Centennial down there at number 9. They dropped down a few spots. They were number 6 last week. Andover in there as well. A lot of conferences represented, but the Northwest Suburban, 3 very, very strong teams on that list.
Absolutely, and any one of them could beat anybody else. As you see, Wayzata way on top. Maple Grove right on their heels. In fact, some people may feel they should be number 1, given that they have not given up a goal yet. So I think this is going to be the weather bane for Maple Grove. If they pull out this game, they would have a legitimate chance to say that they should be number 1.
Obviously some work still to do later this week as Maple Grove will play Park Center on Thursday. And they also have to play Washburn on Saturday. So a 2-versus-3 matchup is coming up in just a couple of days. They can't look ahead to that as you see Ginger Flohog, the longtime head coach of Centennial and a very successful head coach as well.
Absolutely has a great record as we see the Centennial Cougars being introduced. And over on the other, well, we'll get to the other side in a minute as we're focusing right now on the Cougars.
We've talked about Maple Grove so much in this game, but these are the defending state champions.
Yes.
Rather, they lost a trio of really talented players. They have a host of others coming up to follow them.
And they also have players that know how to do a good throw-in. As we saw a few weeks ago when we were looking at Cooper had a couple girls that can literally throw the ball in from the sideline to the center of the field. So when they throw a ball down in the 10, 15-yard line in for a throw-in, it's almost like a corner kick.
The Cougars, a very dangerous offensive team, and they get it from so many different areas. 11 different players have already scored a goal this year in just 7 games. That's a ridiculous number. Nobody has more than 4, and only one player has more than 1 in a game.
Yeah, and that's what you want from a team when you're a coach. You want that diversity of having not just 2 or 3 people being your primary goal scorers, but distribute that scoring amongst the entire team as much as you can. Here we see the Crimson coming out.
There is the severely underworked goalkeeper, the sophomore Sarah Cortez. Only faced 23 shots all year long. This is a very good defensive team. So that's going to be the real battle here tonight. Not that Maple Grove can't score. They've had some lopsided results, coming off a 3-0 win over Spring Lake Park. And the game before that, they beat Irondale 7-0. All their games, at least 3-0 victories this year. They've done it both ways.
And that makes a difference in how the team performs.
And they, too, are a very balanced attack. There you can look at Shelby Hanberg, another player with 5 goals on the year. Scored them all in the first 4 games of the season. But they have a balanced attack as well.
And the balanced attack is exactly what you need. Same as some of the other top teams in the state. Having 3, 4, 5 players who are capable of putting the ball into the net, moving the ball around, putting the pressure on the other team.
And we talked about the section final loss last year, and that was a wild game, 3-2 in overtime. Centennial also had 2 goals in the first half that were disallowed. Maple Grove, though, lost that game. It was a really young team. They only had 4 seniors on that group. Most of them are all back here, and they're looking for a little revenge.
I asked Coach Levon about that, and he said they haven't really talked about it in practice in terms of revenge. Although the players know it, the parents know it, the fans know it, and we know it. Yeah, there is going to be a real tendency to have a little bit of revenge against Centennial. And now that they're in their home court or their home field, they feel that they can take it to them.
And of course, that revenge idea will be tempered a little bit by the fact that this may only be round 1 for these 2 teams. Last year, obviously, they played the conference regular season game. It was a 1-1 draw. Then they played in the section finals. On paper, it looks like those 2 are on a collision course to meet in that section final again. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves,
right,
but this may be only the first time they play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and we can't get too premature in projecting who's going to be in the sections, but you're right, with the way things are going now and the way things look in the schedule, these 2 teams are strong enough where they could absolutely meet again.
So some final words there. Centennial Cougars, the first Northwest suburban team to win the state title since 1989. Centennial and Ginger Flohog led the way for that. And this is a team that over the last couple of years, they have won 49 games. And if you add in the 5 this year, over the last 3 and change, 54 wins. And they only, in that span, have 6 losses. Incredible success for Centennial. It's a real benchmark for teams like Maple Grove to kind of strive towards.
Absolutely. And Maple Grove has a similar background where they've had a pretty good history. But yeah, you look at Centennial's record of what they've done, what they've accomplished in scoring goals and winning. It's phenomenal. And that's what makes this kind of a game so exciting.
And on the other side, Maple Grove, it's been steady progress. 2014, 9 wins, 12 the year after, 14 last year, already 6 on the board this year, and probably plenty more to come. And we'll see what happens tonight. Centennial will start with the ball. And this should be a fantastic game. The Cougars in the red with the black sleeves. Maple Grove in their familiar white. The maroon numbers. Olivia Levick gets us started. And we are underway here in this incredibly poised matchup between these 2 teams. Early turnover given right back. It'll be a throw-in for Centennial. Eliana Marciano, the left back, to bring it back in, number 14. Talked about the trio of Centennial players they lost. McKenna Gieske, Ashley Ebeling, and then Tessa Treadle, who scored the overtime winner in that game and also scored both goals that Olivia Levick assisted on in the state championship game against Rosemount. It's a pretty tough trio to replace, but they've done a nice job. And looking for the first attack of the game here. That's cut out. Trying to hold it in was Megan Wilson. Now Marciano back for Wilson again. Pressuring over there is Hawkinson, we talked about in the pregame for Maple Grove. Just one of many paces the attack here. And the interception here by Zaya Alam, one of the goal scorers in that section final for the Crimson last year. This one swung wide to Mia Omar. She was the other goal scorer in that section final. Maple Grove, one point in that game, led it 2-1 after being down early and then gave up a goal very late. And then the overtime winner is seeing that one out over the line is Megan Schock.
That ends up in a goal kick for the Cougars.
Just a minute and a half gone. You can see the big scoreboard clock in the background there. Lauren Sikora is the goalkeeper for Centennial, taking over for the departed senior Anna Sviven. Led them to the state title. Here is Omar for the Crimson. Loses out as she's crowded out. Now Claire Orth trying to find Haley Fila. All returning players for Centennial. They have a lot of contributors back from last year. This is Lovick trying to navigate two defenders and has it ripped away. And backtracking and keeping possession is Hawkinson.
And if that doesn't tell you what the tone of this game is going to be, it's going to be a lot of contact, a lot of try and drive the through ball, and then some marking up by the defense.
This is Fila. Looking over the top, the target there was Orth, but an easy one to pick up for Sarah Cortez, a sophomore. Gets it back into play quickly.
Nice kick over the 50-yard line.
Off the head of Megan Wilson, went back the wrong direction for Centennial. Now Hawkinson wide. Crimson looking to build through the middle here, and that one goes off the legs of Shelby Hanberg. Out of play over there for a Crimson throw. There you see Sikora, first-year starter, but a senior.
You see Segura directing traffic, telling her defenders where she wants them. She doesn't want to get screened by anybody. And the Cougar defense brings that one out. However, there's a turnover, and Maple Grove now is trying to drive back in again.
Spread wide, and this is Marciano up the line. And good pace here for the Cougars. Busting through is Hannah Bombeck, with 4 white jerseys back to take care of that.
That's a little tough when you go 1-on-4.
LJ Kolaj ended up with the ball. Now here's Omar on this near side.
Return from Hawkinson.
The 1-2, yeah, Hawkinson, excellent touch. Omar looks up and sees 3 red jerseys, however, and has to go back for Hawkinson again. Omar did a nice job just to keep that one in play. And on the turn, that is Manon McMahon. McMahon off to a great start this year with 4 goals, had 7 all of last year. Back come the Cougars again. This is Fila, Hawkinson all over her. And McMahon off the turnover, spreads one wide for Omar, but too strong on the turf, and it rolls out. I'm going to throw in here for Mallory Munson. 2 Munsons on this Centennial team. She's the older of the 2. Madison Munson, number 11, you'll see as well. And a good look at Brenna Saladin for Maple Grove. Now Lovick. Nice 1-2 with Fila. And a little further now for Wilson. Looking for Bombeck. Or pardon me, that was Alexis Larson on the far side, number 28. Now Marciano will try to find Larson again. Quick step around Jasmine Gates, but the through ball will only find the goalkeeper, and so far a little bit cagey in this early going. Both teams playing very high defensively.
Yeah, it's a little back and forth right now, trying to feel out each other's team on the defense, see what they can mount up in terms of an offense. And usually the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, that's what you do. Trying to figure out, well, gee, can I go left? Can I go right? Am I going to find a break? Or
Right now all in the midfield. This is LJ Kolaj, junior midfielder.
So they switch fields. Whoops, and they come back with it. Whoa, the defender was not ready for that
A
pass.
little dicey on that one, but Maple Grove able to get away with it. Through the middle, that one aimed for McMahon. Now Bombeck, wide for Larson. Defensively there is Jasmine Gates, able to turn her back the other way. Marciano plays it long. Now Maddie Reta furthest back to pick it up, and now Saladin. Hawkinson already rolled up the sleeves here. Time to get to work, just 6 minutes in. Loses out on that battle, a little bit of a jersey pull. And this is an onside play here for Lovick. Will get the shot away. Not a whole lot on it, however. An easy one for Cortez. First shot on goal of the game for either team.
And as you said, not much on that one. She just couldn't quite get the right angle and took the left-footed shot, hoping for some kind of a rebound.
With the turn in midfield is Alam. Now Reta looking for McMahon. Couldn't get the turn. Good defensive work there by Megan Schock. A lot of experience in the back for this Centennial team. And their only loss this year is to Andover. That was a week ago tonight. Or pardon me, it was on Thursday. 3-2 loss at Andover in overtime. And that was their first regular season loss since the last game of the year in 2015 when they lost 1-0 to Coon Rapids. Lost in the state tournament that year. But were undefeated last year. Maple Grove, one of 3 teams that avoided defeat against Centennial. They had 3 draws. And Schock thought about going back to the goalkeeper, instead turns it over. And a good clearance on the second effort. Maddie Reta now for the Crimson. And Kolaj. Very patient for this Maple Grove team.
Yeah, moving the ball around. This is something that Coach Levon has coached for a long time. Possession, good passing.
Long time to pick out a pass there for Amanda Alice, number 12. That one overshoots the mark. Intended for Alexis Larson. Quickly back in by Gates.
Almost a turnover.
Gates in trouble, just has to put it out of play. Good pressure up there by Centennial, pressuring high. Larson and Bombeck, and now Marciano will step up to take the throw. And this is that area of the field where you mentioned it. They can put the long throws in if they want to. Not this time, though, from Marciano.
You see that more and more these days with the throwing going to your teammate and then an immediate return.
Strong intervention there by Saladin, and now they're looking for the counterattack with Mia Omar.
You got 3-on-3 if they can.
They look through the middle,
Yep.
trying to get it to Handberg, and just too far.
Defender doing a good job coming back and marking up on the forward, thwarting that offensive play. Now Centennial again trying to get set up.
Saladin shuts that one down, and the long ball intended for this right wing. Now Omar. 2 defenders as she looks up. One is Claire Orth. Kolaj will leave it for Reta after a heavy first touch, and now back comes Centennial looking for Lovick here. And Saladin and Lovick in a foot race, and it'll be out for a throw deep in the corner. Good pressure again, that time by Olivia Lovick.
And getting the ball back in quickly with a throw-in.
Kolaj able to pick it off, and now Lovick is offside on the second effort to get it to her. So 10 minutes in, just the 1 shot on target.
Not that surprising when you have 2 solid defensive teams. You see Sarah Cortez.
That's a heavy workload for Sarah Cortez, that 1 shot. There have been nights that have been, I'm guessing, pretty dull back there, but you'll take that as a goalkeeper anytime.
Absolutely. You want to be involved in the game, but you don't want to get too much pressure.
Here's McMahon looking for a step on Schock. Good defensive work. McMahon staying with it, however.
Yeah, Schock is right with her. The ball comes bouncing out and then cleared out.
Saladin right there to keep on the pressure, looking for Hawkinson. Touched wide by Bombeck. Hawkinson again wants the corner. This is Gates. Able to keep that in play. Good pullback, but nobody there in white.
Up all red and black, waiting for that cross.
Hawkinson again. Wide for Gates, and now she's offside.
Yep, offside called.
Nice sequence there, though, for Maple Grove. Their first extended attack.
That was a good offensive attack. They moved the ball well, moved it outside, then tried to get back in on the cross. Centennial defense picked up on that and cut off the angle, or the passing angles.
You can see the two fullbacks, Gates and Saladin, are seemingly given license to move up and roam into the offensive attack. Here's a foul, and this will be a dangerous opportunity as the call goes against Megan Wilson. And from roughly 30 yards out, the Crimson be able to put this one at least in the area, if not on target.
Yep, they're exactly 30 yards out now. There's a Centennial wall. We can't see on the screen. They're being marched back by center referee. That's Amin Borja.
Maddie Reita over the ball. No goals this year. And that one is a shot on target. A short hop for Sikora. And scoops it up fairly easily with 12 minutes gone here in the first half.
So both teams with one shot on goal each.
Distribution, though, straight to Hawkinson. And a lot of room to work with here for Hawkinson. Gives it off now for Zaya Alam, and she'll try one. And there's two on target for Maple Grove.
I'm surprised the defense let Hawkinson keep that ball that long without going after her.
The first real space we've seen for an attacking midfielder in this game on either side. And that's not the player you want to give room to.
No, that's the last person you want to give room to.
A miscommunication at the back there between Alice and Marciano, able to get it clear. And a good ball now for Hannah Bombeck. Nice job by Kolodge, and now back to Cortez again. And that's the tricky part when you play Maple Grove. It's just getting through the four that are in front of Cortez. Now here come the Crimson. This is onside, or is it?
No, it is offside.
The flag went up.
It was close, but you can see on the far side, that's assistant referee Flavio Ricon.
Shelby Hamburg, the guilty, and we'll put that in quotes, party. That was touch and go on that call, but he's right there and we're way over here, so we will give him the benefit of the doubt. And Reita calmly deals with the restart, and back comes Maple Grove again. Sprayed wide. On is Claire Devick, a senior, number 16, who's come on for Omar. First substitution of the game for either team. Now here's McMahon. Just trying to hold it up, wait for the cavalry here, and ran out of time and space.
Yep, defense picked her pocket.
Now Lovick, able to get around Reita, has help now. 2-on-1 if they hurry here. And Lovick takes it herself, and the shot straight on to Cortez. Bombeck was streaming down that left-hand side, just looking for a pass.
Yeah, but so was the defense and ran out of time. There were two defenders that came back and covered, so at that point, Lovis only had one shot. That was a left-footed shot and didn't get much on it. Now here come the Crimson.
Now Hamburg.
Boy, she's got a lot of traffic around her.
Able to deal with it. Now here's Zaya Alam. Looking for Hamburg again. That would have been close to another offside call.
Yeah, I think that would have been an offside. She was just a little bit behind the defender.
Alexis Larson. Gates shuts the edge off there. Throw in, though, belongs to the Cougars. And they will get their substitutions now as a couple of sisters will come on. Brianna and Brittany Bortson. Brianna, number 2, a junior, and Brittany, number 4, a freshman. And straight into the action is Brianna Bortson. Both first-year varsity players. You'd expect that from the freshman, but nice for the older sister to join her on the team here. They're both in their first year. Throw in here for Centennial. Larson will take it, and again they go quick and short. Gates, nice turn, able to get it clear, only as far as Marciano. Wants that early cross, and there is a target in the box, and it just eludes Claire Orth.
Cortez over there to scoop it up.
It's a very dangerous ball, and Orth just mistimed it. Long for McMahon, knocked down by Schock, and that is Brittany Bordson. Schock again, Orth just had that chance. Taken away that time by Claire Devick. And splits the two Crimson players, and stepping in to steal it away was Mallory Munson. Now Brittany Bordson. This is Bombeck, and she's got some room to work with. Able to get it back, and we'll try it from long range. Cortez been busy here in the early going. A little bit of action in that Maple Grove goal box. Nothing too troubling yet.
Nope, that one wasn't quite on goal, so 3 shots taken so far from the Cougars, 2 on goal.
But all from outside the area, and I think that's one of the keys.
They're not getting inside. They're not getting their set plays. They're quality shots.
They are pressing high here. This is the left back, Marciano, 40 yards from goal. Nearly took a nice deflection for Orth. Now Mallory Munson trying to settle it. McMahon tracking back here for the Crimson. Good work again defensively by Brenna Saladin.
But Centennial is doing a marvelous job of blocking the passing lanes.
Bombeck. And again, just too many defenders there, and Hawkinson bowls her over. And turnabout's fair play.
Yeah, ends up tripping on the play. You see what's happening? You got 4 midfielders for Centennial waiting for Maple Grove to try and clear the ball because they've only got 2 in the midfield. So advantage, obviously, to Centennial. They can get the ball and bring it right back in again.
And Alice with a good physical play there. You're seeing the shoulder challenges start to creep into this game as the intensity picks up just a little bit. And another pickoff here for Alice. She can survey the scene.
All of a sudden, Maple Grove not connecting on those longer passes, 10, 15 yards, are not hitting the mark.
Starting to see Centennial players with a lot more time on the ball as well. You see it with Munson right there. Now Brianna Bordson back from Munson again. Wanted Bordson down the wing. There's not enough room over there, and now throw in for Maple Grove and a couple of substitutions as well. Abby Schulte will come on, number 8. Hannah Zahn, a freshman, is in. Also number 15, Emma Fournier, another freshman.
Good look at Brenna Saladin, number 4 for the Crimson.
Cole Lodge back for Rita. Playing a bit of a sweeper role here, kind of a diamond look to that defense. Cole Lodge in the stopper spot. Down the wing, looking for some fresh legs here. Emma Fournier able to latch onto it. Not a bad ball, and it nearly broke right.
It's still in. No, it went over.
Target there was Hanberg. Not a bad introduction to the game there for the freshman Fournier.
Yeah, get right into the action.
2 goals and an assist. Actually had a great introduction to her high school career. Scored in her first 2 games, did Emma Fournier.
It's not a bad start.
Those were wins over Champlain Park at Eden Prairie way back in August, a long time ago. Touched out of play by Jasmine Gates. Larson again, right on top of her. Just over halfway through this first half.
Be a throw for Maple Grove.
Alice, strong foot in again.
Maintains control of the ball.
That's Hanberg again. Abby Maybe Schulte was the target. Now they've got Fournier again. All kinds of space on the outside. Dangerous ball, and it's tipped just over the bar by Sikora. I don't think that's what she meant. Here's another look at it.
Nice left-footed kick, and just pushed over the top of the bar.
Well, needed everything she had there, Sikora. Corner for the Crimson. Moving across to take it is Mia Omar, who's returned to the game. Sometimes the one you don't mean. Those are the dangerous ones for goalkeepers, anticipating something else.
You bet.
Omar, this is a dangerous ball too. Knocked down and in by Hawkinson.
You know, how many times have we said the most important play in soccer is the set play, and especially the corner kick.
Now the player we highlighted in the open, Hawkinson, with her 7th of the year, and now 5 goals in her last 4 games.
This is just a nice corner and perfect header. You see the Maple Grove fans.
There's a cross from Omar, and
look at this. Perfect.
Nobody challenged her.
No.
3 on the line for Centennial. Nothing they can do about it.
No, it's a perfect header.
And as we come back, they are on the attack again, and nearly some miscommunication back there between the defenders and Sikora, with Schulte ghosting in. So we got the opening goal. We'll see how that holds up for Maple Grove. Obviously, we've talked about how they haven't given one up this year.
Yeah, I hope that's not the kiss of death, is it?
I don't know. If we say it a few more times, maybe. But it is a talking point, especially when you're 6 games in. That is certainly an impressive stat.
It's very, very impressive.
And it's not just that they haven't given up a goal. They don't give up many chances.
Right. Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier, or a few minutes ago. Centennial has been moving the ball, but they have not had super good quality shots yet. There are a couple of shots from the outside, and that's been about it.
Strong work there by Kolaj again.
And again, they missed cute on those on the pass.
And down the wing here comes Centennial. In the middle for Brianna Bortson. Turned over and held in play on the far side by a recent substitution. Sophomore Lauren Bredensteiner has come in.
That was almost a breakaway on the far side.
Bombeck, very active in the early portion of this game for Centennial. Number 16, Hannah Bombeck. Now Omar operating out of the middle now. Started this game on the left wing. There's Bombeck again with Kolaj stumbling on that play.
Yeah, there was no call. That was just ran into each other's feet and ended up with a trip.
Too tall for Fournier on the bounce. Out of play before Mallory Munson could pick it up. And another throw for Brenna Saladin. And Fournier looked good in the early going. Last 2 touches have been a little rough. Quickly down the line, intended for Brianna Bortson. Touchdown by Hawkinson, now Schulte. Hawkinson wants it back and gets it back. Space down the middle here for the Crimson, lays it wide, and here comes Bredensteiner, and she is offside.
Yep. Boy, what a nice play, though. That was some nice passing, just a little bit offside. Matter of timing.
Saw Lauren Bredensteiner there, older brother. Part of the very, very good Maple Grove basketball team the last couple of years. Graduated just past spring. So Centennial down a goal here, trying to avoid defeat against another one of the big powers in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Right now, Maple Grove on top of the group. They're 5-0 and over 4-0-1 And then Centennial 4-1-0 in that loss to Andover. Right behind them, Anoka still hasn't lost, but they have 2 draws, 3-0-2, and then Blaine in the mix at 3-1-1. Champlain Park at 3-2.
And any one of those teams can give anybody else trouble.
Yeah, I think the question becomes, how badly do they beat each other up during the regular season? How does that affect their section seeding when you get there? You know, this is a very good conference, top to bottom.
Yeah, that's what makes this so challenging for the teams, because they have to play their best all the time. Because at the end of the year or end of the season, when they start doing the seedings, that's where you want to draw the high seed.
A case in point, the team we saw last Tuesday, Robbinsdale Armstrong, just 1-4 right now. They lost last week to Totino Grace. They won on Thursday. They're 3rd from the bottom in the conference, and that is a really good Robbinsdale Armstrong team.
Yeah, we saw them. They look pretty good.
Still belongs to the Crimson on that far side, and they're going to get some substitutions here. Both teams are. Lovick will return for Centennial, and back into the game is Zaya Alam.
Throwing comes short. Return pass.
This is Jasmine Gates. Wanted Bredensteiner on the outside.
Yeah, it didn't work. So that'll be a turnover.
And more substitutions here. We'll get a look at Arya Burgess, sophomore, another one of the goal scorers for Centennial. 3 of them this year. One of them coming in Thursday's game. She's also the only player for Centennial this year who has scored more than once in one game. This is a team that really likes to spread it out. They beat Park Center in their last game on Saturday. 6-0, 6 different goal scorers, and that's pretty par for the course for this Cougar team.
Yeah, that tells you how diverse they are in their offense and how they move the ball around to different players.
More substitutions coming in as McMahon returns, and out goes Omar for the Crimson.
Yeah, we should say the temperature's pretty warm right now. It's been like 84, 85 in the afternoon, and the humidity is pretty high, so the players are not playing in the usually cool fall type weather. It's still summer, and it's muggy out there. It's very sticky.
That's a handball against Schock. Stuck her arm out and swatted it down. Pardon me, that's Mallory Munson. And you mentioned the heat. It did seem like when we were down on the field earlier, it's actually a little bit more pleasant down there. We're up in the press box where the windows are mostly closed and it's a little sticky, but I think the players, you're right, it's warm. Yep. And they obviously had the cool weather last week, so they're reverting back to summer. Dangerous ball. Sikora picks it out. LJ Kolaj with the cross for Maple Grove. But the coaches know that. I think that might be why you're seeing some of the more frequent rotations here tonight. Get over to the bench, get a little water, get back in, and you're able to contribute again. Mallory Munson looking for Burgess. And now McMahon. Bredensteiner trying to settle it down on that bouncy turf. A little help from the goal scorer Hawkinson. Now Bredensteiner wide. And Sikora off the deflection, scoops it up with just over 11 minutes remaining here in this first half. 1-0 Maple Grove on the goal 23 minutes in. My senior Meredith Hawkinson, her 7th of the year. That is the team high. And we get a whistle here. We actually have a Maple Grove player down, well away from the ball.
She's holding her arm.
Actually, I think it's her mouth. It's Zaya Alam. I wonder if she took an errant arm up high. So she is replaced by Omar, who just came off. It is Maple Grove ball. We'll see what they do with it here. This was a referee stoppage, so they don't have to give it back. Actually, I wonder if he is calling a foul here. Kind of well away from the action, so we're not really sure what happened, but this looks like a free kick to me. Omar trying a spectacular one-timer. Doesn't come off for her. Unable to get it away was Marciano. And there's a long-range effort that's in. Well, they tried the spectacular a moment ago. It didn't come off. This time it worked. And it was Omar on the second try. Her third of the year.
Look at number 11. Omar just came in, and it was a pass from 15. That was Fournier.
You don't get much better in terms of finishes than that. One touch and right into the upper corner. 2-0 Crimson.
Well, that was a pretty shot. You can look at those shots over and over again. Here we come again.
And Sikora bravely out, charging at the feet of Hawkinson. And now Maple Grove has really started to take over. This game has been played the last 10-15 minutes, really ever since the goal, and kind of exclusively down at this left end of the field.
Yeah, it's been that way. Maple Grove obviously getting the momentum on that goal. Puts Centennial a little bit on the defensive side for right now, although it's such a good team that they are not going to just crawl into a shell and say, oh, we have to protect ourselves. They're going to come out strong because they have the players to do it. You know, like Charlie just said, you got 6 goals in the last game, and every one of them was a different player, so you know they can score.
Shelby Hamburg, who just returned, keeping the pressure on here, and that's good defensive work by Schock to get it out. Centennial looking to break quickly. Now Burgess. Lovick. I imagine she'll become more of a focal point here for Centennial.
Yeah, they're going to have to get the ball into Lovick, give her some opportunities.
Shot by Megan Wilson, but you saw 3 white jerseys there, and we're not sure who it hit. That one's touched. Will it be out of play or not? And Gates does a nice job not to concede the corner. That's a throw. In quickly for Wilson.
You're right. That's great defensive hustle to get over there and avoid that corner kick.
One of those little things the defenders can do. Here's another long-range effort, and that's an easy one for Cortez from Haley Fila. She'll live with those all night.
Another nice kick.
Alice with the header down. Wilson, good body position there. Away from McMahon. And Alexis Larson warding off Bredensteiner on that far side. And if you're Ginger Flohog, really you want to see your team just dominate the next 7 minutes.
Yep.
Don't necessarily have to score. You want to put the pressure on just to let Maple Grove know you're still here. And the next 40 minutes is going to be a fight.
Yeah, that also sends a signal to the Centennial team that yes, we can do this. We can control the ball. We can mount some pressure, which is easier said than done. And we have a turnover. Wow, that was not a good move. Like we were just saying, here comes Centennial with the opportunity.
And this has been when they've been at their best, when they're able to press high, create turnovers in this part of the field. Here you see it again. Now Reta finds an outlet in McMahon, and now Gates. Strong game over there at that right back spot. McMahon. Now Bredensteiner.
Good ball movement.
Kolodge.
Whoops. Went right past the intended target over to the Cougars. Now they are on the offensive.
I love it. Nice seeking ball for Alexis Larson here. But again, 2 defenders back, and Larson had to get rid of it from a fairly rough angle. Good idea, however, and that's the first time they've really been able to hit Maple Grove over the top.
Yeah, just short on numbers coming up there. Cortez with the goal kick. A little bit low and fast. But
got a little help from Kolaj moving it along. Now Larson again. And Gates, another strong defensive play out to Marciano. Larson will take Gates to the corner, cuts it back quickly. This is Wilson.
oh, nice takeaway.
Pardon me, that was Bombeck. And Schock using the body to ease the Maple Grove player off the ball. Now Fila and Mallory Munson. Hanberg staying with it, but Munson. Good charge forward, lucky to get it back. And here she comes again, Munson. Still going here. And finally, Maple Grove able to get it away as Munson just kept finding herself on the ball. Substitutions for both teams here. Claire Orth back into the game. She's really had the best opportunity in this game for Centennial. Didn't have a shot, but was perfectly positioned.
Right.
Center of the box, just couldn't bring it in. And that's the thing against this Maple Grove team. You have to take your chances, and that one will sail wide of the mark from Megan Wilson. That was another one.
I wasn't too sure if she was trying for a curve or shot in or going for a pass. They kind of split the difference, went over for the goal kick.
Cortez this time will call Kolaj back to take the kick for her. So we hit the 4-minute mark here in this first half. All Maple Grove right now. Goals from Hawkinson and Omar.
Oh, that was a very nice goal kick.
Nice substitution on the goal kick.
Yes.
Kolaj for the goalkeeper. Worth about 30 yards. Now Wilson, who just had that chance. Bombeck. Centennial really has numbers forward right now. Touchdown of play by Gates again. You mentioned it earlier, just sort of flooding that midfield area, wanting to own that portion of the field.
That was very effective for them.
Flag up on the play here is on the return there. Larson was offside.
Let's see how the Cougars react this time. They had been flooding that middle, but the last minute or so they've been posting up on top more.
And Wilson wins it back again very strongly. Now Bombeck. Calling for it through the middle was Orth. Mallory Munson able to keep it alive for the Cougars. Turn away from Hanberg. Seeks out Marciano. Bombeck wants Larson. Now Marciano again. To the feet of Lovick, and now Bombeck. Lovick wants it back, and too strong, and Gates also, should be said, was right there to cut off the run.
The Crimson defense has been very good at getting back. Playing their 3-4 backs, well, actually 3 backs into the diamond formation, but they come back and flooded it with 5 backfield.
Chance going forward for Hanberg, but I think what we've seen with Maple Grove, they kind of force you to make a perfect play.
Yeah.
And that is a rough thing to do 3-4 times a game to try to beat them.
Oh, you're right. It's very difficult to do, and Maple Grove defense is very adept at moving around and covering the holes.
Knotted on by Fortier. Out by Mallory Munson. Fila wanted Orth. Found the sideline with 1:27 left. Hawkinson is back into the game. Takes the place of Fortier. Got the scoring started. Nice header off a corner. Mia Omar with a nice 2-touch volley for goal number 2. A little pressure at the back.
Yeah, a little bit too much pressure in the back and hiked the ball over the other defender's head for the turnover.
And here comes Hawkinson.
Looking
Numbers
for
if they hurry.
They got the numbers now. Can they maintain control? No.
Schock with the defensive play. Now Lovick, nice turn and step. Looking to split 2 defenders and ends up the meat in the sandwich and goes down hard. challenge there from McMahon, and also Brenna Saladin. Yeah, we'll see that one again. Here it is.
Here's a crash on the freeway. Look at this. 3 players going down, including Lovick, and she's getting up a little bit slow, checking her elbow. She's apparently scraped her.
A lot of ground up tires in this turf. And
yeah.
That's where you end up, just little black flecks. This is a good cross to the back post, and it's put over the top. On the chance by Bombeck.
And I think that will do the half.
Pardon me, that was Megan Schock on that last opportunity. And you can see she knows she had a chance to make this a game again before the half.
And also you can see that the players are hot and sweaty. It is warm down there and humid. But what an entertaining first half.
And what a good first half for the home team. Maple Grove continuing to do what they've done all year long. They laid it 2-0 at the end of one. We'll be back here on CCX Sports.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
2-0 Crimson here at the half, continuing their strong play all year long. Still another half without a goal given up for this Crimson team. Charlie Beatty, Sig Liger here up in the booth, and this is, I guess, what we expected. The only issue is Centennial just hasn't been able to make that play to get through this Crimson team as we take a look at this highlights from the first half. It's Olivia Lovick, and she has really been the focal point, but those are the shots right now that Centennial's getting.
That's what they're getting. They're getting the softer shots. There's a set play.
That's what it was early on for Maple Grove. And Sikora was able to deal with everything that came her way, and really the play that changed the game. Maybe we'll see it in a moment, but here's Lovick again. Obviously had Bombeck to her left.
Right, and she's being marked and just cannot get off a solid, hard shot.
This is the play that maybe changed everything. It got Maple Grove going. It was kind of an accident, Fournier, but it set up the corner for one thing,
right,
and it led to this.
And went with a perfect corner right to Hawkinson, who heads it right over the defenders at the goal line, and that really changed the course. As Maple Grove keeps pressing and keeps pressing.
Here's goal number 2. Mia Omar just missed a long-range effort seconds earlier. That's about as good as it gets.
Yep.
Taking a look inside the numbers. Go ahead, Sid.
And as you can see, it is knotted up even on the shots, 6 apiece. Shots on goal. Crimson have a 1-shot lead on that. 3 fouls for the Cougars, 1 for Crimson. Corner kicks 1-0. Unusual that there is only 1 corner kick in this type of game with these two types of teams.
Of course, that corner kick did pay off for Maple Grove, and I think the other thing, the shots on goal obviously look similar, but the quality much higher on the team on the right.
And that's a good point, because a shot on goal is a shot on goal. We don't track which one's harder, which one's softer, but yeah, the saves made by Maple Grove are much easier than what Centennial's had to put up with.
Quality chances for Maple Grove. They've converted 2 of them, trying to stay undefeated, go to 7-0-0 on the year. So far, so good. Up 2-0 at the half here on CCX Sports.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Just seconds away from the start of the second half here. 2-0 Maple Grove, the number 2 team in the state, leading number 9 Centennial. Good first half for the Crimson here. Let's take a look at some of the upcoming games here on CCX Sports. As you see, the Cougars are back out on the field, and they need to find a comeback against a team that hasn't given anything up lately. Thursday, a little volleyball coming your way from Benilde St. Margaret's. Hopkins and Armstrong on Friday. Good football matchup there. And then another volleyball game coming up on Monday. Maple Grove and Wayzata. Back to soccer a week from Thursday. Visitation against the defending Class A champions, two-time Class A champions from Benilde St. Margaret's. That's a really talented team, and they're almost all back from that championship team. I had a chance to see them play earlier this year against Hill Murray, another big contender in Class A. That's going to be an interesting state tournament. I think both fields are pretty wide open. Not quite as wide open as these two guys, but both tournaments or that. We saw him playing football at halftime. I don't know what's going on here tonight, but you haven't lived until you've seen a man dressed in a hot dog suit catch a touchdown pass at halftime of a soccer game. He's really rocking that thing, too. I would imagine it's pretty warm.
Yeah, he looks like he's pretty warm. It's like as we were
saying. The sweatband, though, is doing its job.
It's keeping the hot dog from roasting.
He's not the only one. Of course, I don't know if this is a theme. There's so many theme nights that the kids do. You see it a lot at football games. They have it planned out before the season. I don't know if there's a Penguin hot dog theme here tonight, but something's going on down there that nobody told us about, or I would have brought my Penguin suit.
So it's either hot dogging or it's going to the birds.
Well, eventually.
Couldn't pass that one up.
Yeah. Eventually, those people are going to clear the field, and these people will retake it, and this team has a lot of work to do.
Yes, they do. Falling behind 2-0. They, as we looked at the stats, they were very close on the stats. The shots on goal that they didn't have a whole lot of zip on them. But they're obviously having a good time. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of stress involved down here, but
a pretty good crowd here for a Tuesday night. Sports always pretty well attended here at Maple Grove. This is a community that really gets out for just about everything.
Yeah, they do. They have a really good fan participation and come out to support their team.
A good look here at the football / soccer / I guess you'd call it lacrosse stadium here at Maple Grove. School is actually straight ahead of you. You saw that shot. It's behind the bleachers on the far side, across the street. Great setting here. This is one of the really nice stadiums in this area. Centennial retaking the field. The Crimson are going to come back out in just a moment. We will get half number 2 started. You see Jasmine Gates there, along with, I believe, the number obscured. Of course, that's Zaya Alam. That's good to see Alam back out of the field. She left late in the first half, kind of holding her mouth. Maybe got a cut in there from a stray arm or the ball.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a cut lip or a cut nose, but she's back on the field, and that's good to see.
Jasmine Gates, though, I was about to say, one of the real strong players in that first half for the Crimson at that right back spot. And she's back out there again. Had to deal with Alexis Larson, the junior, for Centennial on this left-hand side. And we are underway. Shelby Hamburg gets it back to Alam. Claire Devick starting the second half here for Maple Grove on the right wing. Came off the bench in the first half. It turns into a possession game here if you're Maple Grove. Play a little keep away, make Centennial work for everything.
Absolutely correct. That's the goal right now. Or the thing that Maple Grove wants to do now is possess the ball, keep things under control, keep the passes going, and keep Centennial from getting any kind of an offensive threat going.
Pass aim for Lovick, but a hot first touch, and that's going to allow it to leak through to Cortez. Over 520 minutes of competitive soccer for Maple Grove without giving up a goal. Just an incredible number.
And Centennial would love to put a dent in that record.
And we talked about it early in the game that this may just be round one for these two teams this year. Obviously, that Section 5 AA tournament will be a competitive one, but these two are clearly going to be the favorites going in, you would have to think, unless disaster strikes somebody here. That's a dangerous ball to the far side, and it is Fournier over there, I believe. Able to get it back to the middle, and the chance goes wide, but another dangerous moment there for Maple Grove, and that ball actually rolled out for a throw. Just kept spinning on Zaya Alam.
There's number 7, Zaya Alam.
Getting back to what I was talking about, obviously Centennial would love to come back here, get a result tonight, but there's a chance you meet again. I'm sure they would trade the result tonight for whatever comes on down the road, because it would be a knockout game the next time they play.
Yes, it would be. Then on the other side, the team that wins this game could end up with a higher seed, which means they could potentially play at this field for the Section A's.
And a lot of dangerous opponents to go through till you get to that point.
Yeah,
Centennial still has to play Anoka. They still have to play Totino Grace, a team that's not too shabby. We saw them last week. Still have to play Blaine. Maple Grove still has to play against Washburn. Talked about that. And that's on Saturday. They have to play Anoka. Again, they have to play Totino Grace, and they have to play Andover. That season finale here against Andover on October 5th. Should be a really good game. This one aimed for Larson. Tough play for Gates, and makes the right decision. Sorry, Sid, go ahead.
I was going to say that's going to be telling when they get to the end. That Andover game could be big, depending on what happens between now and then.
If things hold the way they are right now, that may decide a conference title.
And now Centennial with the corner, their first corner of the match.
Wilson drives it in, and nicely attacked by Cortez. That was a real chance for Centennial to get a chance off a set piece, and Cortez shut it down fairly quickly.
Well, she came out there and just took charge.
Just a sophomore, Sarah Cortez. Looks pretty comfortable back there, doesn't she?
She looks very comfortable.
And now here come the Crimson. Dangerous header off the crossbar. What a play by Hanberg just to get her body around that. And deserved a goal, really.
That just hit the bar. What a nice shot.
Mann and McMahon with the cross, and it had a lot of steam on it. Hanberg, not the tallest player out there, and that was just an excellent adjustment. There was really nothing Sikora could do about it. A little warning shot across the bow for Centennial from Maple Grove. We're not done scoring here tonight. Not going to sit on a 2-0 lead. Now here's Sikora coming out with Hanberg in the area again.
If you're a coach, that makes your heart pound when she has to come out there and put your hands over your head, behind your head, because you overran it, but her arm strength was enough to keep that ball under control. So kudos to Sikora for hanging in on that one.
Nothing she could do but watch the first one as Hanberg just got it off the crown of the head, and it really hit the angle. Hit both crossbar and post. And Centennial can breathe again here. And Lovick will chase this down with Kolach. Olivia Lovick so strong on the ball. You saw it again right there. Kolach, a very good defender.
And smart too, because she waited for the rest of her teammates to come up and join.
Talked about Cortez being just a sophomore. You can say the same for Lovick. Just an impact player last year as a freshman. This Centennial team that just keeps churning out players.
Boy, can you imagine what she's going to be like in the next 2 years?
Here's McMahon. Now Kolach, watched by Bombeck, ends up going wide, this time for Saladin. Mia Omar wants it back and gets it back. Space here for the Crimson. Has McMahon in the middle, pulls it back for Alam, and just a bit out in front. Kept alive and put back in, aimed for McMahon, too strong for her off the ball that came from Gates. That's the thing, you commit yourself forward. It's going to open up those counterattack lanes. Maple Grove is playing this game like a team that's up 2-0, kind of to a T.
Yeah,
Pick your spots.
Right, they're doing the outside, making good crosses, and making Centennial just a lot more leery of what's going to be coming at them. Good ball movement here.
This is Claire Devick.
The one thing about those passes, once you receive a pass, you have to really...
Onside play here for Handberg, and just pushed it away from herself a little too much. That second touch let her down.
Yeah, I wonder if she would have been better off waiting. She had 3 others coming down the field, but if you have an opportunity, go for it. Maple Grove again,
and
really possessing.
Omar. And wanted McMahon. Finds Devick. And it is cleared away by Shock. But this Centennial team's living dangerously right now.
They certainly are. What's really helping them is Maple Grove is not connecting on these deep passes. Here's this last chance.
So the touch just before that, just when the replay came in, she had herself set up and then just pushed it a little too far, and that's when the goalkeepers are taught to pounce.
And they do. It's an easy
long-range
shot.
effort. That one from Malam.
Relatively easy for Sikora to pick up that one. Ball driven right back in again.
And right back into Sikora with McMahon chasing. Good clearance and a nice take by Bombeck. Kolaj outnumbered there. Now Lovick. This is Fila, who's moved forward here for Centennial in this second half. Good low ball in. And that ball's still loose for a moment. Cortez smothering it. Challenge that time coming from Alexis Larson. Centennial certainly didn't have a lot of balls played in like that. They weren't getting on the wings in the first half.
No, they weren't. They were staying on the outside, taking penetration shots, but it's not getting much mustard on them.
Omar now for Handberg. McMahon and Omar still going on that far side.
Boy, they love that far side, don't they?
Mia Omar, and what a save by Sikora. That's as good as it gets from a goalkeeper. Out she comes again. Reads that big touch, doesn't she?
Yeah, if she would have just gotten underneath that ball a little bit, that would have gone right over Sikora.
Great build-up play again, though, by Maple Grove, and now they have another corner. And Omar, who put one on a plate for Hawkinson in the first half, will try and do it again.
Oh, this one's way outside.
Kept alive by McMahon. Hawkinson keeps it moving. Still dangerous here. And Hawkinson will bring it down. This is Handberg. And another corner. This time from the near side for the Crimson. They call it a goal kick.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not either. I thought that was over. Well, anyway, it's a goal kick, and Sikora will take it.
10 minutes gone here in the second half. Centennials had far fewer chances here to dent this lead than Maple Grove's had to expand it. They are really dominating the 50-50 balls. You see it again there. And Omar on that far side has just been a nightmare.
Yeah, she's been a thorn in the Centennial defense because she keeps driving the ball down that far side.
Good idea there from Hawkinson. Now Lovick as Centennial looks to get the attack going. Larson has Bombeck with her. And Alexis Larson trying to take on Gates here. Again, the Crimson able to get back. Lovick on that left foot again, but again, the result exactly the same. Straight at Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez waiting for it. Very smartly scoops the ball up, protects it.
In your eyes, is Lovick shooting too early? I mean, we've seen the foot skills she has to take on a defender.
She may be, I'm not sure if it's shooting too early, but she's trying to take a shot while she's being marked.
Layoff here for Larson. Lovick wants it back. Instead it goes to the middle, and it's cleared away by Maddie Reita. Now Devick, that's charged down by the Marciano. And Larson, Centennial needs some players attacking the middle. They get one. What a save by Cortez. No, it goes in. And I believe it's Orth on the finish. Or is it Fila? Oh, no, pardon me. It's Mallory Munson who put it away. Coming up from that right back spot. And it's the first goal Maple Grove's given up all year. We've got a game with 28:33 left.
You see it again. So the cross. And then the shot. And it just rebounded off Cortez's hands and went in. So a nice play with the assist going to number 28. It's Larson.
Yeah, Munson got Cortez going the wrong way. Great run. And for Munson, who scored her first varsity goal just on Thursday, now with 2 in 3 games.
And this is a big one that brings
Saturday.
That brings Centennial right back into the game.
So suddenly a huge offensive weapon here. Mallory Munson for Centennial.
See, that's the thing about possession. You may possess it 90% of the time, but it only takes 1% of the time for the other team to score.
And a lot of times you would say if your goalkeeper gets her hands on it, they should stop it. That is an exception right there. That would have been an amazing save.
Yeah, that was a hard shot. That's a harder shot they've put on Cortez the entire match.
And a little belief here for the Cougars, and it's touched out of play by Reita. And this is the second half in which Centennial was just absorbing pressure. Great saves by Sikora at the other end. They hit the crossbar at Maple Grove. You look up and it's 2-1.
It's a funny game, isn't it?
And a handball here called against Centennial.
So now things get a little bit interesting as we're getting closer to the middle of the second half.
A good step by Jasmine Gates. And finds Fournier. McMahon wants it in the middle. But now here come the Cougars. Fila and Larson with space as Gates has to hustle back. And stepping over Kolaj to make an excellent defensive play. Larson staying with it. You mentioned the physical stuff in the first half. Now that the game's back on, it's going to pick up.
And it's close. The other team just scored, so now the physical stuff is going to start showing.
Back for Reita, and she's going to look up and see Lovick right in her face. That press of Centennial starting to become a factor again. Here's Alam. Fournier.
And you don't want to do that. Gives possession back to Centennial.
Gates up the line for McMahon. Fournier following up, but Marciano keeps it alive, only as far as Alam. Kolaj wide for Saladin.
Ball goes with a touchline, throw in for the Crimson.
Schulte is back into the game. McMahon gets a breather. Now Handberg. Gave it away, and now here comes Bombeck. Lovick wants it and is in space here, and heels clipped together there. And I think that was incidental for Saladin, but
I think
this might be a card.
It's going to get called anyway. You see the run down the field.
Yeah, just trying to come across her. There's no intent there, but let's see. The referee's coming over. He is reaching for the card. Saladin will have to take a breather here. It's a bad break, but it's an even worse break for Centennial because Lovick was gone. That's a situation where if she's already in possession of the ball, you have to consider a red card because it would be such a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Obviously, she hadn't gotten there yet, and that might be
I don't think it was
Saladin in the game.
Right, as we saw on the replay, I don't believe it was intentional. I think they just collided, and the referee made the right call. So now, set play, big time, important set play for Centennial.
I think the conversation we were having, referee coming over to talk to Ginger Flohog and having that same conversation.
Yeah.
Let's see it again here.
No
contact at all.
Yeah, there was no contact. That's
a horrible break for Maple Grove then.
Yeah, you see it right here. No contact, and she actually trips herself. The right leg comes over and hooks on her ankle.
Here's the chance, and the cross comes floating in harmlessly past the net. So no harm, no foul, other than the yellow card for Saladin for nothing at all.
Yeah, she did not earn that yellow card.
And of course, she can come right back on now. It just has to go out for one substitution cycle, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they can review video or not, but you may want to pull that off her record, because if she gets another yellow card, she's out.
Obviously, not every game has the film, but we've got it here. Here's
we've
48.
Got it here.
You got it. You might as well use it. Trying to guide this out over the line, and doing so was Amanda Alice. So an interesting final 24 minutes here from Maple Grove. This Crimson team looked like they were in cruise control early in the second half, and it was just a matter of time before they made it 3-0, and then all of a sudden here we are.
Well, that's what makes it interesting. You know, if you have two teams that are so good, there's no quit.
Omar picks that one out. Knocked out a play by Claire Orth. Orth and Munson have essentially seemingly swapped spots on that far side. Munson playing the right wing, Orth playing the right back.
Well, they'll call that foul.
Feet coming together that time between Larson and Gates. Looks like Kolodge wants to take charge of the distribution here.
And it looks like she'll be taking the shot somewhere over to the right of the keeper. That's where everybody's parked.
Yeah, 4 white jerseys sent to attack that back post. Here's the ball from Kolodge, and it's a good one. Sikora came and got it and needed some help to clear it. Right back into the mix by Gates. This is an onside play. And Marciano staying with it well. And Larson with a good turn. Too far for Lovick. Reta will back up, try to settle things down here for the Crimson. Neither Larson nor Fila could grab it. Marciano, though, keeps it alive. And out of play towards Ginger Flohog. Here's Alice. Mentioned the atmosphere here tonight, that it does include the cheerleaders, and they're trying to get these Crimson fans back into this a little bit. I think they're a little shocked. Seen something they hadn't seen in going on almost 12 months now.
Yeah, last year.
And the last time they were scored on, it was Tessa Treadle in overtime in the section final at Centennial. Start of a really magical run for this Cougar team. Beating, among others, Andover in the state semifinals, and then a very good Rosemount team in the final. And they finished that final, should be noticed, the championship game. They played almost half of it with 10 players. Max scored their second goal. They were already leading 1-0, but scored their second goal down a player, where Rosemount scored and made it a 2-1 game. That was the final. Pretty impressive effort by Centennial in that championship game.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing. They never quit.
team that, despite their undefeated record last year, Centennial, actually did not win the Northwest Suburban Conference title because they had the 3 draws, so it actually allowed Andover to overtake them.
Overtake them?
By 1 point. Of course, they won when it counted in the state semis.
Right, that's what we were saying earlier. This conference is so stacked with good teams. And
a tough ball there, and good recovery by Mia Omar, who's had such a strong game. And her goal right now is the winner. 3/4 of the game gone, exactly 20 minutes remaining. The substitution coming here for Centennial is Brittany Bordson, the younger of the 2 Bordson sisters, is going to come on.
9th grader.
Made a cameo in the first half, and she'll replace Fila. A freshman for a senior here, trying to make a comeback. Looked like everybody for Centennial stopped playing there for a moment. That was a live ball, and now here comes Maple Grove. This is Schulte trying to get a step on the defender here, and Schulte under heavy pressure from Schock puts it wide. And Ben Levant, among others,
they want a foul on that. Here's shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It gets the crowd up, but that's exactly how you play that ball if you're Megan Schock.
Absolutely.
And maybe that one's a foul.
That's different. That's a little different.
People are into it now as Hawkinson's taken down. Marciano clipped her.
Yeah, contact is made, then ooh, ouch.
A little late.
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
And there's an edge to the game now. That yellow card that shouldn't have been, I think, has really picked things up even more. Here comes Alexis Larson. And Gates coming back, trying to put the shoulder barge on her, but Larson's still on it. And great help from Maddie Reita, sweeping up. Now Marciano, here's Wilson. Lovick leaves it for Larson, who needs some targets in the box. Pulls it back for Lovick. Wants to get it on that left foot, and in that instance actually made a worse chance for herself. Gets a corner out of it with 18 minutes remaining.
Megan Wilson will take the corner kick. Looks to be a right foot shot.
Out toward the penalty spot. It's a tough ball to play. It could bounce anywhere, but too many players there. And now here come the Crimson on the counterattack. Omar, Schulte's onside. And hustling back is Orth, and Schulte just ran out of gas on that one. 60-yard sprint, didn't have anything left.
Now it's been a long game, and the players are tired. Just absolutely nothing left in the tank on that run. But what a nice counter.
This last 17 minutes is going to be something to watch based on what we've seen for the last 5. Shelby Hanberg is getting set to check back in for the Crimson.
Well, this is the kind of game where no player gets a chance to take a breather. It's been run since the opening whistle. So these players have to be getting exhausted.
And this is as wide open as it's been all night.
Yeah, it's been back and forth. This is great.
Coming over is Kolaj to clear that one out. A little help on the play from Zaya Alam. The Cougars able to keep the pressure on. Bombeck trying to get one back into a dangerous spot, and it's hammered away. That time by Mia Omar. Another left foot opportunity. And another save by Cortez. Schock with the header. Bombeck gave it away. And here's Hawkinson. Schulte again trying to make a dangerous run. Instead they go wide for Fournier and had to really overcook it on the cross. Able to keep it alive on the far side, Bredensteiner, but it's a goal kick for Centennial, and now some substitutions as back into the game come both McMahon and Handberg. And it looks like the replacements will come in for Bredensteiner and Schulte. Notice Maple Grove doing a lot of flipping of the wings here. Omar and Fournier just did it. Fournier coming back outside to the right here with Bredensteiner going to the bench.
Kind of rotating people in and out to see what the combinations look like.
One player who hasn't left the field is Alexis Larson, and here she is again. That one drops nicely. This is Mallory Munson, Centennial goal scorer, trying to find the angle over there. Plays in the cross. And able to keep that in was Cortez. I think that actually took a deflection off of Maple Grove defender.
He probably did, but she managed to scoop it up and bring it back in.
Another foot race. Sideline coming into play here as well, but McMahon turning on the jets here and now has Marciano turned, rolling it in, and again, an excellent effort by Sikora to come out and get there just in front of Handberg. Now, Sikora couldn't do much about either of the goals in the first half. She's had a fantastic second half.
Yeah, she's been diving on that artificial turf.
Yeah, she'll have a little rug burn in the morning, but
I think she's already got that.
Her team can come back here. It'll be all worth it.
Yes, it would.
Down to 13.5 remaining. Knotted on by Hawkinson. Handberg looking for McMahon, who's able to get it away from Schock. And now wide for Fournier.
This is their favorite play.
Fournier for Handberg, and
that's going nowhere.
Another tricky header for Handberg.
It looks like Maple Grove is content now with taking those outside shots, rather than draw the defense out and then go for a cross in the center. The Centennial's been there waiting for him.
Here comes the speed again. That time it was Brittany Bordson. Ahead now for Lovick. Larson in the middle, and it's touched out of play for a throw. And a Saladin again for the Crimson. Now Mallory Munson. Bordson and Munson working in the corner there. Looking for Larson in the middle. Not the tallest target that Centennial has. Low cross in from Marciano is dealt with. Wilson keeping it alive. Out only as far as Orth. The Centennial again pushing up. Orth has it back again. Alice and now Marciano. And Larson couldn't keep it in. Tough ball to deal with along the sideline. Devick returning here for Maple Grove. Looks like for Fournier on that far side. Here's McMahon. Handberg, the lone striker, has Alam. Devick is all alone on that far wing, wanting it. Now Handberg, and again, Sikora gets there first.
And another slide on the turf. Sikora just absolutely cutting down the angle and made a great stop.
She's shown she's not really afraid of anything that comes at her.
Not at all.
That save that she made on Omar 10 minutes ago now. The bullet right off the knees. Maybe the biggest play of this game. Centennial can come back and tie it up. Right now they've got some defending to do. Larson nodding it away from Gates. And Kolodge. Kolodge ends up stumbling on the play, and now here comes Olivia Lovick. Lovick still going here, Olivia Lovick, and rolls it in. What a goal! 10 minutes remaining. And what a breakout from Centennial. A 2-goal second half, they've tied it.
You see the young, just the individual effort getting past the defense. Look right here, just stepping around, looking, gets the ball passed, just zips it in just inside the post, right where the keeper was, not covering, and that's a 2-2 game.
And that's a teachable moment for the sophomore Cortez, essentially dropping down the wrong way there.
Yep.
Want to cover that near post, and now the Crimson find themselves in an even game here. And they were really dominating for maybe the first 50 minutes or so, but Olivia Lovick, we've talked about her all night, how good she's going to be in 2 years. How good is she right now?
Outstanding right now.
That's her 4th goal of the year.
Boy, she just absolutely did not give up on that play at all.
Hard to believe that this team beat Park Center 6-0 the other day on Saturday, and Lovick did not score any of the 6. That was her first goal since September 5th, which is a span of now about 3 games, essentially, if you want to break it down exactly mathematically. Scored in their 4-0 win over Champlin Park, which is oddly enough, that game on September 5th, that's Centennial's only home game they've played all year, as Lovick trying a right foot curler. This now their 8th game, 1 home game. They only play 2 on the road the rest of the way. I don't think I've ever seen a schedule as lopsided as that.
That is kind of weird. So look at number 34, Lovick.
And she's the woman of the hour here. And
yep, absolutely.
Maybe the reason this game extends past 80 minutes. Man, something to say about that. Hawkinson has not been as big a factor here in the second half. Trying to change that now. Wide for Devick. And down the line for Alam. Both teams so dangerous offensively. Here's the ball into the middle looking for Handberg. An excellent defensive play coming back by the freshman, Brittany Bordson.
You can see the Centennial defense is now starting to mark up on that far side.
Dangerous ball in from Omar, just getting a piece of it with shock. Handberg was lurking right behind her. Now Alam. McMahon. Alam again. Handberg.
Nobody there but Red.
Again, Sikora just so alert on those through balls and 50-50s. Now Alexis Larson. They got that move started that Lovick finished. Lovick did the bulk of the work, but Larson won that ball at midfield and started her on her way. Goal kick here for Maple Grove as we reach down to the 7-minute mark. McMahon trying to turn here on Marciano. And shock in the way of that ball to the middle. Lovick couldn't bring it in. Cortez taking charge, playing it long as far as Megan Wilson. Header down for Mallory Munson, who's short range tap in, started the comeback. And Olivia Lovick basically right on the 70-minute mark. is what has tied this up. Kolodge wide for Devick. That's a handball against Handberg.
Cougars now with an opportunity again, trying to send somebody up on top. But they all congregate at about the 35-yard line. Sends it deep, headed back out nicely by the defense.
McMahon trying to start the counter again. Maple Grove had a couple of really nice counterattack opportunities earlier in the second half and couldn't make them pay off.
Yeah, now they're having a little bit of trouble because they're getting marked up so much tighter by the Centennial defense. And the 50-50s that Maple Grove had before.
Oh, there's a potentially dangerous giveaway as it ends up with Lovick again. That ball ricocheting around, ends up hitting Larson, and Kolodge saved it as Lovick had eyes on that one again. Now Hawkinson. Devick for the Crimson. Wanted Handberg, but there you go. Just as you said, Shock right on top of things, and there's a foul against Handberg. And you can see the frustration here for Maple Grove. You can see it fairly visibly there on Handberg.
You see it again, a little push in the back.
Handberg, I think, thinking that that arm came out from Shock, and she might have a point.
Yep.
Dangerous ball to the back post while we saw that replay, but it does drift wide as we're down in under the final 5 minutes here. What a comeback by Centennial in this second half.
So scoring-wise, the tale of two halves.
It's really more the tale of the last 25 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
Centennial didn't really do much for the first part of this second half. They're on the move now, and Mallory Munson puts one just wide of this near post. Well, they moved her up from right back here in the second half. She's made a huge impact.
Nice move to step around the defense and just gets a shot off that went to the near post.
It just seems like right now Centennial has the fresher legs.
Yeah, they are absolutely playing better. Their motivation obviously is much higher than it was. Those 2 goals will do that for you.
Hawkinson and Handberg now. A late chance maybe for the Crimson. Handberg had options. Oh, and she'd waited just a second. Fournier was right behind her.
Yep. She had Fournier right beside her and another forward up on the near side.
It might have been McMahon who was.
Is it McMahon over there?
Attacking that near post. Or it might have been McMahon or Omar.
One of the two. I think it was Omar.
Meanwhile, here they come again. Looking for the cross here. The pullback, and it's in!
Wow.
And I think it might have been Handberg who finished that off. Although Hawkinson's getting the lion's share of the congratulations. There were about 4 or 5 legs right in one spot. And we'll have to see this one again.
I have a feeling that was Hawkinson.
If so, it would be her second of the game. And here it is again.
Nice little poke up. Comes all the traffic.
Now, does this go in off a Centennial body? It does. Oh, bad break for Alice right there. So it's an own goal, which they don't really score in high school soccer. So it will be Hawkinson's goal.
Right. And what a timely goal with 2:40 remaining in the match.
What a bad break there for the senior Amanda Alice, because she had to play that ball. There were white jerseys behind her. But it's such a tough one to deal with, right on your line, moving the wrong direction.
Right. And you can't tell when the ball is being shot and shot that hard. Hawkins got a pretty good leg. You see, good look at number 14 for their second goal tonight.
Gives her 8 on the year.
And now, how important is that going to be?
6 goals now in 5 games.
That's a pretty torrid pace, isn't it?
Pardon me, 6 and 4 for Hawkinson.
still toward base.
So just under 2 minutes left, and Centennial needs another miracle here. Lost 3-2 to Andover in overtime a week ago. Now they're looking at 3-2 and kind of a de facto overtime goal here from Hawkinson. We've got an injured player down. I think that's Handberg.
Yeah, she went down pretty quickly.
I wonder if she collided knees with another player, or it looked like it. She actually went down after being hit by the ball.
Well, like I said, she went down pretty quick. Looking at her knee.
An obvious pain. Actually, I think they're actually wiping some of the turf out of her eyes. See the trainer there with his shirt and now his fingers. Take a look at this here. Oh,
ouch.
It's that right ankle just buckled.
Yeah, right there.
Well, you hope.
Hope it's not serious. I hope it's just a twist.
Yeah, those can either be 2 minutes or 2 months.
Tending to her now, because of course, when she went down, she went down face first into the turf.
Might be where the turf came in.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, when they're able to get her off the field safely, Abby Schulte's going to be the replacement, but this is concerning if you're Maple Grove. Handberg's a key player and obviously a senior. 5 goals this year, and she's been right in the middle of the action tonight. She's had a good game, just hasn't been able to put a chance away. And the rest of the Crimson huddling up. They are moments away from a dramatic win here, and I hope that's not tempered by the fact that Handberg just did something pretty scary.
Well, they're going to try and get her up, walk her off.
No weight on that right leg right now.
No, not at all.
A nice hand from the crowd here for Shelby Handberg.
Yep.
Certainly is done for the night, and you hope it's just the night.
The senior forward, also one of the captains. She's going to try. She tried to put some pressure on it. Probably better off not doing that.
Although it did look like they just got a little smile out of her.
Yeah.
And that's a good sign.
Yeah, now she's trying to put.
And again, these ankles, when they roll like that, it's intensely painful. It's just a matter of how long it lasts and what you did to it, obviously. But sometimes it's just a rolled ankle, and you're good to go the next day. And we hope that's the case, obviously.
Yeah. She's trying to put pressure on it now. Obviously, just telling her to let
Handberg
cut her off, and she'll be sitting down and get the trainer to take a look at her.
Bitten by the turf monster here with 1:40 left, and that means we're at a restart here. Centennial trying to bag another tying goal. They have a comeback left in them. Brittany Bordson somehow kept that in play. Now here's Mallory Munson. And away by Kolodge, and she'll put it into row 10 if she can.
Yep, it'll be a throw-in.
You can see the time ticking down on your screen.
Right now, if you're Maple Grove, drive the ball in, possess it well, and take some shots if you can. But here we go, the final minute. Centennial trying to put on a dramatic finish.
Marciano and Omar. Marciano wins the duel. Bombeck. And here comes the counterattack. Schulte is the player who's furthest forward here, and every second it ticks off the clock is a vital one for the Cougars.
Well, if you're Maple Grove, maybe the best thing you can do now is just kick the ball over the touchline, buy some time, or to eat up some time, like that.
17 seconds remaining.
Perhaps one last offensive surge for the Cougars.
Down to 6 seconds.
Last
Marciano.
opportunity. This is it.
And they're not going to run out of time here as Wilson won't be able to put in the cross. And what a night for Maple Grove. Their shutout streak ends, but a dramatic finish there as the own goal at the end. Meredith Hawkinson will get credit for it, and they are still undefeated, 7-0. A little bit stickier than maybe they thought it was going to be after the first half, but the Crimson still on top of the conference and looking good heading into a showdown on Saturday with the number 3 team in the state in Washburn.
There'll be another exciting game. As we said before, these two teams match up so well, and we saw that the first half. It was obviously good control, good ball possession by the Crimson. Second half, not quite as much. They gave Centennial the opportunities, and they took advantage of them, scored 2 good goals, very good goals, to tie it up, and then wrapped it up with a goal near the end of the game.
And for Centennial, you go home here with a loss, but this team showed that they're not out.
They're not
anytime.
Not by any stretch of the imagination are they out of anything.
Well, we talked about it early. Talk about it one more time here before we head off the air. These two teams might meet again, and if this game and the last one they played are any indicators, the sections for 5AA this year is going to be some must-see TV. These two teams are on a collision course.
Get your tickets now.
3-2 the final. And it is Meredith Hawkinson, the player we highlighted at the beginning of the game, who is the hero. 2 goals, including the winner, with just under 2 minutes to play. So for Sig Lager and our entire crew here, I'm Charlie Beatty saying so long. Great game here. Maple Grove 3, Centennial 2. Thanks for tuning in on CCX Sports.